Next bill I want to call is House Bill 852. Representative Smith of the 41st in the great state of Cobb.
There we go.
Are we on? Absolutely. Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee for having me today. Today I bring before you HB 852, which passed unanimously in the House. What HB 852 will do is allow any student that moves to another school's attendance zone an opportunity to stay at their initial public school. There are a few requirements and stipulations in the bill. For example, the student must have attended the same school for more than half of the year, provide their own transportation, and the student must not have any behavior or attendance issues. The purpose of this bill is to ease some of the anxiety of moving and to provide some much-needed stability for our students, especially since most schools do not teach the material at the same pace. For example, some schools have block schedules and some have a traditional 7-period schedule. The reason why I sponsored this legislation was because I got a call from a constituent that was upset because their kid was denied the opportunity to stay at their initial public school. Right now, some schools have this policy in place that would allow a student to stay at their initial school, but it is at the principal's discretion. Currently, HB 852 does not mandate our schools allow a student to stay, but it will raise awareness and allow parents and students to advocate for this policy to their school board. Once again, Mr. Chairman, this bill passed unanimously in the House, and with that, I will yield for any questions, if there are any.
Does the committee have any questions? Senator Black, what number are you? 11?
You got him on?
Yes, sir.
All right. Does this involve cross-jurisdictional lines?
It does not. It does not speak to that specifically. But if I'm not mistaken, our citizens are already allowed to do that, but they have to pay tuition.
Okay, well, do we not have it in the code already that they can, if they can stay in a system if there's room in that system? If they choose to go to another school other than one they're assigned to?
I don't think so. I think if they move out of the system, are you talking about them moving out of the system, or are you talking about moving out of the local school district in the same system?
No, this is within the same school district. So, for example, Cobb County, if you move from if you move from one school, I guess Kennesaw to Mapleton, you'll be able to continue to stay at your school if your school was initially Kennesaw. So if you only have one school in your county, then this wouldn't apply to you.
Right.
But it's already allowed under current law, if I'm not mistaken, for you to continue to stay at your school, perhaps, but you have to pay tuition if you're in another jurisdiction.
Cobb to Fulton, for example.
Cobb
Right.
to Fulton.
Right. But a lot
Well-
of districts do not take tuition students.
You're absolutely right. But this
Back-
bill does
back
not
to the
speak to that.
question, What do we have in current law now on this issue?
There's no law that specifically says that a local board can do this, but a local board could already do this. But it would give a parent something to point to that says, hey, local board, you can do this if you want to, even though it is part of their authority now.
Mr. Chairman, they get to finish the year at their school. That's what this is what the bill does.
I don't have any problem with it, but I mean, the analysis on the bill said under this bill, if a student moves from the school during the school year to another attendance zone within the local school system, the local Board of Education may allow the student, which it'll depend. But I don't see anything in this that you talk about cross jurisdiction.
There isn't. It doesn't. It doesn't speak to that at all.
Okay. Well, I mean, did you intend for it to? Because
No.
moving between counties is much different than moving within the county, because it's a question of QBE, and wherever
That's
the
right.
child is, that's where the QBE is going to be.
You're absolutely right, Mr. Chairman.
So, okay. So this is,
Just within the school system.
But
you
the-
are
with-
clearly satisfied that this protects the school. It's the attendance zone within one particular school system
Right,
or district.
right.
Okay.
Cobb County gets to keep the money.
It's not about the money, it's about the kids.
Senator Millar, I would like for you to carry the bill in the Senate.
I'll do it for you.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
If it passes.
Chairman Wilkinson.
Let me ask you, I just want to make sure I understand. let's say a student moves their junior in high school, they've been in the same school throughout their high school career, so they move with a month left in their junior year. With your bill, would they have the option of attending the same school during their senior year of high school, or would it just be for the remainder of the school year where they move?
It'll be the remainder of the school year, so for that month.
For that month, so in other words, they wouldn't have the option, with your bill, wouldn't give them the option to come
This
back to
bill-
the same school for their senior year.
Correct.
But they can petition the local board of education to give them a waiver.
Right.
Yes.
That's a quick comment.
Yes, sir. 3.
3, yes, sir.
Senator Wilkinson actually just asked my question, but this actually happened to me. My parents moved in the same county at the end of my sophomore year, and I was able to finish not only that year, but I was able to finish the next 2 years at the high school I started at. So it's a good bill.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Thank you, Representative. We will take action on the bill on Monday.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, committee members.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, we did have one comment on the bill. Ms. Cedar Cook.